and welcome back to It Figures. Tonight I will be reviewing two figures for you, and they are both from Funko's line called Rock Candy. And these are going to be from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We have Willow, and then we also have Buffy herself. Let's take a look at Willow first. Now, my wife and I were huge fans of Buffy when it was on, and we have quite a collection of Buffy figures. So when these came out, of course, we ended up picking them up. So for the collectors who don't like opening up their Funko figures, these have a really large window that you can see the figure really well. But here on It Figures, you know, we always open the figures. We never keep anything in the box. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at Willow. Love the sculpt, first off. It's a great sculpt of the character from the TV show. And this has a lot of great detail. Looking at it outside of the box, I've noticed a lot of really cool stuff here. She has a smiley face pin right here. You can barely see it, but it's right there on her sweater. And she has all these flower designs on her sweater as well. And the camera may not pick it up, but those actually are sculpted. The flowers are sculpted onto the sweater. They aren't just prints. They're not just drawings. They are sculpted in, which is pretty impressive. Taking a look at her face here, the Rock Candy figures are so well sculpted, and this is no exception. She has really bright green eyes, and just really like what they did with her face. Now, as in the actual character of Willow, I don't know if this really looks like her, but it's a great sculpt. I mean, it's a great sculpt, and you can, if you didn't know this was Willow, you probably, I don't know if you would know right away who this is supposed to be. All the flowers down here on the bottom of her shirt are also sculpted in, every one of them, and she has a flower print on her skirt, and I love this hair. I really think they did a great job sculpting her hair here. It looks fantastic. And this is early Willow from the show. If you never watched Buffy, you know sort of what happens to her later on, which I kind of would like to see a Rock Candy figure of that version of her as well. But this is really early Willow, and she's carrying her book here, and it's a great sculpt too. I really like the pose of her just standing there holding the book. She does come with a stand, even though I think the figure could probably stand on its own. It's cool that they added a stand to it. And actually, this is more of a statue than anything else. The head does not turn, arms don't turn, legs, nothing. It is basically a statue, a sculpted statue. Which again, I have zero problem with. I think that's perfectly fine for these Rock Candy figures. But overall, yeah, I really like this sculpt. I don't think it looks like Willow that much. And again, if I didn't know who this was, I really don't know if I could say, oh, hey, this is Willow from Buffy. It looks like somebody carrying a book. But knowing it's Willow from Buffy, yeah, I mean, I can see it now, obviously. But I don't know. It's one of those, it's hard to tell what it is because she has a face that doesn't really stand out as the face from the television show. But it's a nice sculpt, though. Don't get me wrong. I like it a lot. Okay, so now let's turn to Buffy herself and take a look at her. Right off, this is a great sculpt of Buffy. Unlike Willow, this stands out as Buffy. I mean, you can't look at this and know the character and say, oh, I wonder who this is. No, absolutely 100% this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. From her face sculpt to her body sculpt, it's great. They do a really great job on the hair on these figures. Also, with Buffy, I think that her outfit really fits this character here for the figure. With the red shiny pants and the black shirt, I think she just is a great figure. She also has a great pose going on as she's standing there with one fist clenched, and in the other hand, obviously, is a stake that she's ready to pound into a vampire's chest. As for detail, she does have a ring on in this hand, and she has a bracelet on that's actually pretty nicely sculpted. You can see the silver really shining on that bracelet. It looks really nice. Weird thing about her is she has some crazy white prints on the back of her legs, and I'm not really sure why that is. I don't think any of the other figures have those, So that's kind of distracting from the back version of her. And again, love that face sculpt. And love the eyes and everything about that. It just looks so cool. One thing is I've never noticed is apparently she's taller than Willow in the show. As you can see, of course, she's also wearing high heels. So maybe that is making her taller than Willow. But I never really noticed that she was actually taller than her in the show. This is a great line of figures from Funko. And they're just fun figures. Actually, I keep calling them figures. They're more like statues, I guess. And since I've started collecting these, I actually have quite a lot of these to bring you. So hopefully you like these rock candy figures, because, again, I have quite a few more to bring you. Even though the sculpt on Willow, I don't think looks like her that well, the sculpt on Buffy, again, these are, cartoon versions of them. So you would have to almost know, again, the character. But Buffy, of course, comes with the spike and everything, so you would automatically know. Even if she wasn't holding the spike, I think I'd probably know who this character was. But for Willow, I don't know. But I love the sculpt. I love the paint job they did on her outfit and her skirt and everything. And everything. Just so well done on these figures. And if you do like these figures and would like to see more rock candy, or just like to see more action figures in general, make sure you hit that subscribe button so I can see you next time on It Figures.